Hi everybody, this is Shri and welcome back to my channel Vedic Living. Today I want to talk to you about the October predictions with reference to the solar eclipse for all 12 signs. So we'll be talking about how this month and the coming 6 months are going to play out for each of the zodiac signs. So when we look at these signs, I want you to remember that this is Vedic astrology. So it's sidereal degrees of the planets. So as you know, in Western astrology, we use the tropical degrees, but in Vedic astrology, we use the sidereal degrees, which is astronomically correct. It's the exact degree of the planet in the sky at this time. Now, if you don't know your chart and you don't know what signs you are, what you can do is you can go to my website, use the free chart calculator and calculate your chart. And the ascendant or the ASC in the chart will be in a certain sign. That's your Lagna. And your moon sign, you'll see the moon in a certain sign. That's your moon sign. So when I talk about the predictions today, it's applicable to your ascendant degree, the Lagna, as well as the moon sign. Okay, so that's how you can look at what these predictions mean for you in your life, personal. When you're at my website, you can also sign up for my free newsletter. I will be sending out newsletters every month. I already sent out the one for October. So I do have very detailed predictions for the month in my newsletter. So make sure you sign for my free newsletter. Let's go ahead and start with the predictions for each sign. I'm going to start with the sign of Libra because that is where the eclipse is happening. As I explained in my last video, this eclipse, this solar eclipse, is a partial solar eclipse. It is in conjunction with Ketu, the south node of the moon. It's in the sign of Libra, which is ruled by Venus, and it's in the nakshatra Swati in Libra. So let's start with Libra. If your ascendant is in Libra or your moon sign is in Libra, this eclipse coming up in the month of October, October 25th, is happening in your first house. The first house is your body, it's yourself, it's your mind, it's your dreams, it's your ambition. It's what you want to do in this lifetime. It's your thought process. It's everything that has to do with the self and the soul. So what will happen when you have this eclipse in the first house in Libra, and if your ascendant or moon is in Libra, is that this time will be about rediscovering yourself. It'll be finding out or connecting more to yourself. More than taking care of others, you're taking care of yourself. You may have a new look. You may opt to have a new hairstyle, or you may change your makeup, or you may buy new clothes. It's all about rediscovering, reinventing yourself, new thoughts, and it's all about physical changes, physical and emotional changes for yourself in this time frame. It's about taking care of yourself. So a lot of changes will happen in the coming 6 months, which will force you to kind of come back to yourself and take care of yourself. Okay. Now, if your ascendant or your moon sign is in Scorpio, the eclipse this time is happening in the 12th house. 12th house is to do with sleep and dreams. This can be a very psychic and intuitive time frame for you the coming 6 months, because it's a 12th house. It's the unconscious mind. You may have some sleep problems, I have to say that, with Ketu there, but dreams can be very telling. So make sure you have a dream journal, maybe almost like premonitions. Careful with expenses, because 12th house has to do with expenses. And another thing is 12th house is hidden enemies from the past. So some of your hidden enemies from the past may show up because there's karma that you need to resolve in that area. So that is what will happen if you are a Scorpio sign. Now, if you're Sagittarius, if your ascendant or your moon sign is in Sagittarius, this is a time for friends. You'll be meeting your friends. You'll be reconnecting with people that you've left in the past. It may bring back revelations about your past, about your friends, about your acquaintances, your older sibling. You may connect with them, or they may need your help in this time frame, because 11th house is older siblings. This may be a time where you're a little restless, because whenever you have the eclipse in the 11th house, you feel like you need to do more with your life. 11th house is your ambition, it's your gains. And you may feel a little restless. You may feel like, should I be doing this other course, or should I be doing this other job? You may have those kind of thoughts if you're a Sagittarius ascendant. Now, if your ascendant or moon sign is in Capricorn, this is happening in the 10th house of career. So you'll feel a little restless around your career. Things that you did not know about the past, hidden things in your career will come out. You may have these realizations of this place that you're working at. You may have problems with your boss or superiors at work. And it's also a time where you may think about changing your job. Most of the time when you have the eclipse in the 10th house, it means you're looking for a different job, which is better for you, because things come out of the dark and they come out into the light. You realize things that you never realized in the past. So you may look for a different job or a better job. So career will be the center point for the next 6 months of your life. Now, if your ascendant or moon is in the sign Aquarius, this is happening in the 9th house. The eclipse is happening in the 9th house. That's to do with traveling, learning, teaching, new opportunities. It's the house of luck and fortune. So that means that you could feel a little like you want to do more, right? Because there's Ketu there. But at the same time, your belief system might change. You may question your belief system. You may question what you have so far accepted as your belief. So, there may be a change in that. Your father, if he's still around, may need your help in this time frame, because 9th house is father. You may have a new spiritual realization that may come out of a travel to a spiritual place. It's all about travel and learning and spirituality when it comes to the 9th house. Pisces, if your ascendant or moon is in Pisces, this is the time for metaphysical studies. This is happening in the 8th house, which means that you're looking at various metaphysical subjects that you want to study. You're looking at bringing out secrets from the depths. You're researching things. You want to find out more. You're coming out with all these different conspiracies or secrets, and you want to figure out more about what's going on around you. It's a very transformational time. You may have some experiences which are difficult, because 8th house, 8th house is the embodiment of difficult experiences, which brings about transformation. So there may be some of that, but at the same time, change is inevitable. You're going to have some change in your life in this time frame. So be prepared for that and be ready to embrace it. It's all a part of the grand plan. Now, if your ascendant or your moon is in Aries, this eclipse is happening in your 7th house, which means it's all about relationships. Your romantic relationships, business partnerships, your one-on-one relationships with other people. Somebody from the past may come back, because this is Ketu in the 7th house. There may be some problems in your past relationships which will surface again for you to resolve and kind of, make your peace with that karma. And remember, this whole thing with the eclipse happening in Swati, it's about purification. It's about purging. It's about healing. So all your relationships will come into the forefront for you to heal karmically. If your ascendant sign or moon is in Taurus, this particular eclipse is happening in the 6th house of health and healing. This is a time when you will be looking at your health and your lifestyle and your routine through a magnifying glass, because you will be having to bring in some discipline into your day-to-day life. Your diet may change, your exercise may change. You may have problems with co-workers and employees, because this is the 6th house of conflict. There may be some conflicts which may surface, which you have to now resolve and move on from. Pets fall in the 6th house area, so you may get a new pet, or your existing pet, if you have a pet, would need your attention during the next 6 months. So make sure you're paying attention to your pets. And again, when it comes to the health, it's mostly about discipline. You may have to put some changes in your day-to-day life and routine for bringing some discipline into your life. Now, if your sign is Gemini, then this is in the 5th house. It's a time for breakthrough, creativity, new ideas, new inventions. And if you have children, you may have to pay more attention to them. They may need your help. If you don't have children, this may be a time that you become pregnant or you have children. Now, another thing also is the fifth house has to do with past life karma. There may be some events in your life which will surface out of the dark. Remember, this is an eclipse, so things come from the dark into the light. So there may be some things that come out which may need to be resolved and karmically brought to a closure. Now, if your sign is Cancer, then this is happening in the fourth house, which means that there is a move coming up. You may either move to a new home or you may renovate or change your existing home. And the next 6 months may be a little difficult because it's going to be unsettling. There's going to be, that feeling like the rug is getting pulled from under your feet, that kind of feeling, a little bit of a restlessness, a little bit of not feeling settled. But at the end of this, you're going to feel like you're at home, you're feeling comfortable, you're rooted, your foundation is good. But you have to get through this time frame. So be ready for some changes in this time frame. Also, if your sign is Cancer, then the eclipse happening in your fourth house means that if your mother is around, she may need your help. You may need to be more present for your mother at this time. Now, if you're a Leo sign, that means this is a time for siblings. It's the third house. Traveling, short distance travel, learning. Again, just similar to the ninth house, the third house will also bring a sense of restlessness because Ketu is in the third house, which means it's this vacuum that you're trying to fill, which doesn't get filled. It's a void. So you feel restless. You feel like you want to learn more things. You want to travel more. You want to see more. You want to bring more experiences into your life. And your younger siblings may need your attention during this time frame. Now, if you're a Virgo ascendant, this means that the eclipse is happening in your second house. There are going to be some new things that come out about your finances and your wealth. There's going to be new revelations about what you possess, your material possessions. And also there's going to be some thoughts in your mind about how to save, how to invest, how to come up with a new revenue stream. It's all about finances and money. And that's the karmic lesson for the next 6 months. So pay attention to your expenses and your income during this time frame. So that is the prediction for the next 6 months with this eclipse happening in Libra for all 12 signs. I hope you enjoyed that. Make sure you do like this video because it will help me reach a larger audience with my message. And I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for coming.